Greetings and welcome to the Tiger's Den. This is the voice of Cheryl, and I am Toothless Tiger. Breaking news. Yeah, I know it happened yesterday. But of course I wanted to come and share it with the Tiger's Den. And you know me, I like to look at different viewpoints and see what everybody is saying. And so I have some small clips from different newscasters, and we'll be looking at that together. And I'll interject every now and then. Unfortunately, the first report I'm doing here does not have closed captions, but it is from 7 News, Australia. So I went down under. It was the first one I saw. So, here we go. Also, let me just make a brief reminder that I am using these videos, as it says in my ticker tape here down at the bottom, under Copyright Act of 1976, Section 107, Fair Use.
To the US, where, as we go to air, 2 homes owned by rapper Sean P. Diddy are being raided by authorities as part of an investigation related to sex trafficking. Arrests have been made, with a number of men taken away in handcuffs.
Choppers could be seen flying over his Los Angeles home and his house in Miami on the other side of the country. It's not known if the rapper himself was present at either home.
Let's bring in US broadcaster Cooper Lawrence. Morning to you. This is a major operation, search warrants carried out. We understand the Department of Homeland Security is executing some sort of search. What do you think is happening here?
Good morning, Nat and Shervo. Well, basically, the fact that the Homeland Security folks are involved says that this is more than just the sexual assault allegations. This is something that they think is going on in the home. I was just given a statement, actually, specifically from his attorneys, that said we will always support law enforcement when it seeks to prosecute those that have violated the law. Hopefully, this is the beginning of a process that will hold Mr. Combs responsible, et cetera, et cetera. So there's some questions now as to his culpability in all of this, because it first seemed like this is something that went on at his house without his knowledge, but now both sides have issued statements. His side is saying they're cooperating, and then the lawyers that are working on behalf of the U.S. government are saying that we don't care that he's famous. We're going to prosecute regardless of, as long as we find something, and if it's prosecutable, we're going after him. We don't care that he's famous.
So, Cooper, as you said there,
I just want to interject there, because it seems like to me, when she first talked about the attorneys, she said she spoke to his attorneys. But when she broke it down, it sounds like she was talking about the government's attorneys, saying that he's going to take responsibility. So tell me what you guys think in the comments as we go forward.
he's been associated with some legal troubles, including the alleged sexual assaults, lawsuits that are currently underway, and also sex trafficking. Are you saying that this isn't related to that?
Well, there have been several videos posted of individuals in handcuffs. So far, we haven't, at least I haven't identified any of them to be Sean Combs himself, but they seem to be people associated with him, and that's usually how Homeland Security starts. They start with the outer circle and work their way in. So these are people that are involved with Sean Combs, but we don't know how involved or who specifically they are yet. The identities have not been released to us, but it is his home, and it would be hard to think that he doesn't know anything about something going on in his own home. We will have more soon. They're releasing the information little bits at a time, but the helicopters are there, and we're watching the arrest happen in real time.
Yeah, and this is, I mean, on social media, there is some speculation that two of those people could be two of his sons. I think he's got, 7 children, and there is speculation that 2 of them could be King and Justin. That is unconfirmed at this stage. This is, to people just watching at home, they may recognise this guy's face. He's a billionaire worth a lot of money. He's won 3 Grammys, nicknamed Puff, P. Diddy.
Puff Daddy.
Puff Daddy. This guy's a major deal in the music industry, isn't he, Cooper?
He is. And the important thing to understand here is that Homeland Security is a major organization. So if they're involved, there's evidence and there's a reason why they're there. And with somebody that is at his level in terms of his value, how much he's worth, how important he is, they would not have gone in if they didn't have some pretty solid evidence against, whether it's against him or whether it's against people in his inner circle. Again, we're not sure if he's directly involved, but this is going on at his house. Whether it's with his knowledge or not, whether he's involved or not, we don't know for sure. But I will say that Homeland Security going in with guns drawn tells you that they have some very serious evidence, and we're going to be hearing more about that as the days go on.
Yeah, this is major news in Hollywood, isn't it? Of course, those 2 homes of Sean Diddy Combs, Puff Daddy, call him what you will. Cooper, appreciate your time. We're going to continue this story as we watch live shots there. Just one of those homes, Holmby Hills in California, in LA. Quite a wealthy
That home is beautiful. Look at that swimming pool. Can you imagine the parties at that home? There's actually, they said, 3 homes on this property. And it really looks like a beautiful resort, to be honest. But this is California.
Well-to-do area, an enclave actually not far from the Playboy Mansion in LA. You can see that there, the home of Sean Diddy Combs.
To the US.
Okay, that was the first coverage. Now we're going to go to the coverage in Miami. I wanted to find something in Miami to see what they were saying. And let's get here.
First up.
Actually, I went to Houston next. He's in Houston. And this is Fox 26 in Houston. And he has an attorney that's going to give us a take on what could be going on. I'm not an attorney. I don't practice law. I don't give it legal advice or anything of that nature. But I do have ideas that with Homeland Security being involved, this has to be a serious issue. And with Homeland Security, I would say that we have left the civil realm and went into the criminal. I don't know the accusations or the allegations. I don't know any of that, but I do know that Homeland Security is not coming just to say hello. So let's hear Houston's take on the story. From Isaiah Carey. And please forgive me, I'm not the greatest editor, but this is my rendition of editing. not so good editing. I was looking at the video, but not you guys. Here you go.
Today, the feds raided homes in Los Angeles and Miami that belong to rap mogul Sean Diddy Combs. And tonight we hear those raids are linked to possible sex trafficking. A criminal defense attorney will share his perspective in a moment. But first, here's the latest on the situation unfolding on two coasts.
I was shocked. I was taken back. I was really shocked. I mean, I never even expected this to happen.
More people coming out. Who's this guy? Yeah, they're all kind of dressed
Definitely
alike.
shocking and hectic out here in Holmby Hills at one of Sean Diddy Combs' homes. We were first on scene as it all unfolded. We came right in the middle of the convoy of about 40 undercover law enforcement vehicles before they even put up the crime scene tape. The Department of Homeland Security making a big bust, officers say, in connection to a sex trafficking investigation. While it was all happening, investigators were also raiding his home in Miami. Homeland Security has not yet released details or named Diddy as the focus of the investigation. The 20-year-old Ryan Mendelson, he's lived nearby his whole life, and he often visits his best friend just a few doors down.
But I've seen Romeo once a week, girls lingering outside. I drive by a lot, and I see that a lot of girls, maybe 5 or 6 girls outside, some leaving, some not, some going in, black Suburbans. Never know. I never thought anything of it, but now this is crazy. I mean,
as we broke word on scene and from Skyfox, Mapleton Drive near Sunset and Beverly Glen became a madhouse. And as more Bearcats and undercover cops pulled in, so did the swarms of onlookers, even a celebrity tour bus.
We all have to keep our minds open to what's going on here.
Well, this is from Brooklyn, though. Leave Puffy alone, man. Y'all crazy.
There are a lot of questions tonight, including Diddy's whereabouts. TMZ is reporting he was seen at a high-end executive airport in Miami pacing while the raids were going on. Today, I spoke with criminal defense attorney Bayoji Akingbola of the Akingbola law firm to gain more perspective on this situation. Obviously,
So what do you guys think about that young man? He visits his best friend that lives a couple of doors down, and he's 20 years old. And he's seen a lot of girls over there. Do y'all think they ever went to any of the parties? Make you wonder.
this is a crazy case. We have Homeland Security raiding multiple homes of P. Diddy at the same time. What does that tell us?
Well, for one, in order for Homeland Security to even be able to enter into someone's home, that means that there was a federal court judge who signed off on a search warrant to search for the home, which means that at the very least there's probable cause to indicate there's some reason to believe that there's an evidence of a federal crime inside those two households.
And I know they've hit Miami, Los Angeles, and we saw some of his sons in handcuffs. That doesn't necessarily mean they're being arrested, though, right?
Yes, absolutely not. It could be some form of detainment, especially when you're involving law enforcement officers entering into a household. That's a lot of unknown variables. They want to make sure that they're safe. So if there's people that happens to be inside the home, you want to make sure that they're detained and secured so the officers can do their job freely without any concern of anything happening while they're conducting their search.
And of course, we haven't heard or seen Diddy at all in any of these raids.
Well, we haven't heard or seen Diddy in these raids, but I think it's important to look at the history of how we got here. There have been several civil lawsuits detailing accusations of human trafficking, the use of illicit drugs, non-consensual sex with those sex workers. And it appears that it seems as though federal law enforcement officers have been paying attention to those lawsuits and want to do some poking around to see if there's any evidence that these accusations actually give rise to federal crimes.
And of course, when you look at civil lawsuits, you think it's civil, but federal investigators or law enforcement simply can't ignore, you know, these major allegations of sex rings and drug trafficking. So they had to take some action.
Absolutely, and we're seeing this trend where civil lawsuits are giving rise to criminal investigations. We've seen that with Jeffrey Epstein. We've seen that with Harvey Weinstein. We've seen that with R. Kelly. Where there's smoke, sometimes law enforcement officers believe there's fire. And based upon some of the empirical evidence, sometimes that happens to be true. So it appears that, you know, this is a very well-known person. He's well-known in Hollywood, so this is going to be a big case for federal law enforcement officers.
Now, we got here where it began with Cassie Ventura, the ex-girlfriend, right?
Yes.
What happened in that case when she filed a civil lawsuit, not criminal?
So she filed a civil lawsuit detailing that she was sometimes forced to have sex with sex workers while being drugged. And as soon as that lawsuit came out, they quickly settled. That's not an admission of guilt, but certainly there was reason to settle. After that happened, there was a string of other lawsuits that came out. At least 3 other women also made similar accusations of having sex with sex workers, being drugged. And that led to the most bombshell case, which was actually by a former producer on Diddy's album, The Love album. His name was Rodney Jones, and he not only made those accusations, but he also had his form of receipts. Now, we don't know if those receipts are accurate. They haven't been proven in court, right. But he provided pictures in his lawsuit detailing that P. Diddy and his children, his sons, were having sex parties with underage sex workers, that oftentimes people were drugged, that he himself was drugged and woke up in the bed of sex workers and Diddy, detailing that P. Diddy usually would record these incidents, which is another reason why law enforcement officers may be interested in looking into these homes. Sexual assault cases can be very difficult to prove. Human trafficking cases can be difficult to prove. And the way law enforcement officers typically try to prove those cases is by looking into cell phone data, video footage. In the lawsuit, which was a 75-page lawsuit, Mr. Jones detailed that P. Diddy often would record these acts on his own cell phone, as well as hidden cameras throughout the house.
So do we think an arrest is anytime close or soon, or are they just gathering evidence at this point?
At this point, it's too soon to speculate as to whether or not anyone will be arrested. This seems to be an investigatory measure. If there is enough evidence in those homes, then certainly we could expect an arrest sometime down the road.
First up.
So hearing some of that we just heard, what do you guys think about he and his sons? And could they give any credence to the question that I posed? Could the people around attend those parties? Just a thought. But I'd like for you all to comment in the comments whatever you think. Now let's go to Miami, Florida. And let's hear their report.
This case that's, again...
I didn't forget.
based out of New York. We have some video I want to show you from earlier. Chopper 4 over the scene of the house here gives you a better sense of the scale of the property that the police here are searching. We were told by neighbors that these officers showed up 3 to 4 hours ago beginning this raid here in Miami. At the same time, earlier today in Los Angeles, police with the Homeland Security Investigations Agency raided one of Diddy's homes there as well. Again, it is not totally clear because their explanation to us has been very vague on what it is that they're looking for. I mentioned that we saw a canine taking up the driveway here. The statement that we got from Homeland Security Investigations reads, and I quote, earlier today, Homeland Security Investigations New York executed law enforcement actions as part of an ongoing investigation with assistance from HSI Los Angeles, HSI Miami, and local law enforcement partners. They're going to provide information as it becomes available, but that is really all we know at this point beyond what you can see here live in Miami Beach. As you look at those agents that are at the edge of the driveway, we have seen dozens of them, most dressed like those that you see there, some dressed with vests, and of course we saw the Customs and Border Patrol K-9 unit just go up the driveway to continue this investigation. We'll gather as much information as we can and bring that to you as it becomes available. For now, we're live on Star Island. Larry Seward, CBS News, Miami.
Hey, Larry, before you go, we saw video from Chopper 4 of the very heavily armed agents going into the home. Do we know if P. Diddy was inside the house or if anybody was inside the house when this raid took place?
Good question. Since we've been here, we've seen no one detained. We've seen no one coming down that driveway besides law enforcement. Earlier, we had a vantage point where you could see the gate to that driveway. There's a large gate that is taller than that van that sits there. It's probably another 2 feet taller than that van. It was disabled and pushed to the side, and we've not seen anybody, again, other than law enforcement heading down that driveway at this point.
And Larry, I know this is a very exclusive, high-end neighborhood, so perhaps a lot of neighbors not really willing to talk to you right now. But from anyone there, have you gotten any indication that they knew that something like this was coming? Because it seems like it's having a huge impact on their community tonight.
Yeah, Lauren, I want to show you something if we can, Chris. I want to pan and show you just how close the homes are here. You can see over here to the left, if you will. Give us a second. We're taking the camera off the tripod. But you can see there are homes here really within a stone's throw of Diddy's place here. We talked with one homeowner who did not want to be on camera. She told me she is not surprised because of the series of lawsuits that Sean Combs faces and has faced in recent months, including one filed by the R&B singer Cassie that was settled last year. So she was not surprised to see all of this federal presence. But we talked to some of the workers, and there are many that have been coming and going. As you look at some of the traffic here, a lot of them are dog walkers, construction workers, etc., working on some of the homes that are here. They told us that they see Diddy out jogging and walking, and that they were surprised to see federal investigators here. At this point, that's all we know from them. No one with much more information beyond seeing the law enforcement show up here about 3 hours ago, 3 or 4 hours ago. I'm sorry.
Yeah, definitely one of the most expensive and luxurious neighborhoods here in South Florida. Larry.
I don't know if y'all caught that view of that SUV when it was turning inside that gate, but the beautiful water was behind. So this home is like incognito and it's hidden, and it must be on the water because it's absolutely beautiful. It just was a split second. I hope y'all caught it.
Larry, in some of the video we saw earlier, it looked like they broke down the gate in order to get into the driveway. Was that the case?
Yes, it certainly looks like that, and we may be able to give you a vantage point if we walk this direction. This is the giant command post that Homeland Security Investigations has set up here, and again, they've been here for hours. If we can get to the other side of this, you might be able to get a peek at that gate that we showed you earlier. If you look to your left, that is the driveway. It's hard to see. The van is blocking it, but again, that gate is taller than the van, and it was disabled and broken and pushed to the side.
All right, Larry Seward live for us on Star Island tonight as this raid at one of P. Diddy's homes continues. We've also been following news from the West Coast where another one of his homes in Los Angeles also under a raid at this hour. We, of course, are going to stay on top of this developing story and bring you the very latest on CBS News Miami.
And don't forget to watch our reports on CBS News Miami starting at 7 o'clock. And, of course, complete wrap-up on CBS News Miami at 9 o'clock on TV.
So that was Fox 4, CBS Miami. Now, this one I'm going to show you is going to be another one from Houston. That was the lady, she was talking in the first video, and she said that she was the first one on the scene. I wanted to play this. It's very short, but I wanted to play it because, again, I want y'all to listen to the different things that the different reporters are saying. So let's go to her.
We're following.
Okay, and this is KTVU, Fox 2. And this is actually San Francisco. It's not the one I thought, but we're going to listen to her anyway.
Following a developing story in Southern California where Homeland Security agents have raided the home of rapper Sean Diddy Combs, as well as his studio in Miami as part of an ongoing sex trafficking investigation. Reporter Haley Winslow from our sister station in Los Angeles joins us now with the latest on what's happening. Haley.
Julie, it's been a pretty exciting afternoon, to say the least. We actually came in the convoy in the middle of all of it with hundreds of undercover officers in their vehicles and Bearcats. We got a tip and we're kind of standing by for a while. So I was really the only TV reporter here for about an hour and a half as this all unfolded on our station Fox 11. So we saw them jump out of the vehicles, put the crime scene tape up, and with huge guns basically go into one of the biggest celebrities in the world, Sean Diddy Combs.
I was shocked. I was taken back. I was really shocked. I mean, I never even expected this to happen.
More people coming out. Who's this guy? Yeah, they're all kind of dressed alike.
Definitely shocking and hectic out here in Holmby Hills at one of Sean Diddy Combs' homes. We were first on scene as it all unfolded. We came right in the middle of the convoy of about 40 undercover law enforcement vehicles before they even put up the crime scene tape. The Department of Homeland Security making a big bust, officers say, in connection to a sex trafficking investigation. While it was all happening, investigators were also raiding his home in Miami. Homeland Security has not yet released details or named Diddy as the focus of the investigation. The 20-year-old Ryan Mendelsohn, he's lived nearby his whole life, and he often visits his best friend just a few doors down.
But I've seen maybe once a week girls lingering outside. I drive by a lot, and I see that a lot of girls, maybe 5 or 6 girls outside, some leaving, some not, some going in, black Suburbans. Never know. I never thought anything of it, but now this is crazy. I mean,
as we broke word on scene and from Skyfox, Mapleton Drive near Sunset and Beverly Glen became a madhouse. And as more Bearcats and undercover cops pulled in, so did the swarms of onlookers, even a celebrity tour bus.
We all have to keep our minds open to what's going on here.
This is from Brooklyn, though. Leave Puffy alone, man. Y'all crazy.
Definitely an unexpected added bonus for the people on that celebrity tour bus that goes through here. This neighborhood is home to a lot of celebrities. In fact, it's actually not gated, but his home, of course, is gated, and we're told that there's actually a guard there. We have reached out to Diddy and to his representatives for comment. We have not yet heard back. I'm Haley Winslow here in Holmby Hills in Los Angeles. Julie and Mike, back to you.
Yeah, this is all tied to a series of allegations and lawsuits. Like you said, you've reached out but haven't heard back. The man in your piece that we saw them looking like they were taking someone into custody, was that person arrested or just apprehended while the search crews went into the home?
Just detained. So there were 3 people from our helicopter. It showed 3 people coming out of that home. They basically went in, they went to the back over by the pool, Julie, and they detained 3 people inside there. Diddy was not here at the time. I think he was in New York. They also, of course, raided his home on the East Coast in Miami. But the people that they took out of those homes, out of that home, excuse me, we don't yet know if they will be arrested. Right now, they're just brought in for questioning.
And you've been out there all day. What are they doing right now? Are they carrying things out, or are they just still kind of staking out and covering, tying up the neighborhood?
I think it's going to be a scene for quite a while. We've been on this since probably started around 10 a.m. We got to the scene here once they all deployed about 1 p.m. And they're still there. All those vehicles basically parked up the hill down the street. Those are all undercover Homeland Security vehicles. And they were bringing stuff out right away, right after they went in and detained those 3 people. They brought out their drones. They put kind of everything back in the vehicles. And then actually a whole other convoy of about 40 to 50 Bearcats and undercover vehicles came in about 3 o'clock today. I don't know if it was a shift change or whatever, but they're still just kind of here staking it out, I guess getting any kind of evidence they can to figure out exactly what's going on.
All right, Haley Winslow in Southern California tonight. Haley, thank you.
So I thought she was in Houston, but she was not. And here comes the very last video. And this is from News. This is from News Nation. And I wanted to play this so that we can get their take on it. And then we'll sum it up. Thank you if you've looked this long. I appreciate it. And I hope you hit the like button. And if you're not, subscribe, and consider joining. I would appreciate it.
News, Los Angeles and Miami. On both coasts, federal agents swarmed the homes of one of the biggest names in rap and entertainment. As you can see, SWAT teams showed up at mansions belonging to Sean Diddy Combs. P. Diddy is what he goes by. They were raided by the Department of Homeland Security Investigations group. Combs has faced lawsuits on a number of issues. But according to court documents, he's been accused of rape, sex trafficking, and more. He has denied all the charges. Law enforcement sources confirm the raids are connected to investigations over sex trafficking. You can see what appears to be Diddy's 2 sons in handcuffs in the yards. This is from Los Angeles, from one of our helicopters there. That's Justin and King Combs. News Nation national security contributor, former Los Angeles FBI agent Tracy Walders here. First, News Nation entertainment reporter Sam Rubin with what we know right now. Sam, a scale of 1 to 10 in Los Angeles of the surprise meter, where does this rank?
Oh, I think this is a 9+. I think it's an extraordinary surprise. This is one of the most elite neighborhoods in all of Los Angeles, the Holmby Hills area, a street called Mapleton. And as you saw from that aerial footage, this is an extraordinary mansion. I am not a real estate expert, but this is a $50 million home and then some. So we always knew that P. Diddy did well. I don't think people were necessarily aware that he did this well, nor were aware to the extent of the trouble that he must clearly be in. You're seeing this extraordinary estate where neighbors are now telling the media, yes, this was the site of parties, likely debauched affairs. And that's what this all stems from. One lawsuit, there are 5 against P. Diddy as we're speaking right now. Again, he has denied these accusations. But one from a woman who recorded under the name of Cassandra Ventura, was extraordinarily detailed and damning in her accusations of a 10-year relationship where she described effectively being terrorized in a variety of ways. And that may just be the tip of the debauched behavior iceberg. It seems pretty extraordinary to me that HSI would come in effect with military equipment and to simultaneously raid this extraordinary estate here in Los Angeles and another one in Miami that they apparently approached with both boats and vehicles. I mean, it looks like a scene out of a movie, except P. Diddy cast very probably reluctantly as the bad guy in what certainly, at the very least, is extraordinarily damaging to his reputation.
Yeah, that would probably be the understatement. Sam, thank you very much. Tracy Walder with us now. Tracy, I think what struck everybody was the fact that the agents who were raiding these homes were wearing the HSI tags on the back of their bulletproof vests, that the SWAT team was there. How high up does it have to go? How far along in the investigation does it have to be to send SWAT teams to the home of a major celebrity on both coasts?
The short answer to that, Leland, is pretty high, although I'm not surprised that it was HSI who was there. Their prominent role is really to investigate transnational issues, particularly sex crimes and sex trafficking crimes. So it's not surprising at all that this raid was conducted by them. And it's not surprising at all also that this was simultaneous. Typically, if you have someone that has multiple residences, we even did this at the FBI, you have different teams stationed at different properties to go after them and raid them at the exact same time. So that way evidence can be preserved. So I really think by this point, and again, he is innocent until proven guilty, but there is a mountain probably of evidence against him.
Yeah, this is the end rather than the beginning of the investigation, I guess, as things would go. Sean Diddy, Puff Daddy, P. Diddy, net worth over $1 billion, bad boy records, 500 million records sold, 38 platinum records as well. I guess, there's that old line, things you never get caught on your first time, drunk driving, cheating on your wife, and the like. The one person we haven't heard about or where he is P. Diddy himself. So how do they time these kinds of raids? Is it they want whoever the target is not to be at any of the homes and they have surveillance on him? What's that play look like?
So that's a really good question, actually, Leland. My guess is they may actually have him in custody, and we just may not see pictures of that because that was done quietly. Or he could be out of the country. It's hard to know. I don't know the various properties that he has, as you mentioned. He's worth $1 billion, so he may not physically be here. However, I think that they decided to conduct the raid, whether they got him or not, because I think there were probably lives at risk and trafficking that was going on, and it needed to stop because people were in imminent danger. Wow. That's why I think it doesn't necessarily matter. It will matter, obviously, in the end that he's caught, but I don't know that it matters right now, and I think that's probably why they decided to do it, sadly.
Thanks for watching. Go to joinnn.com to find News Nation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of News Nation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.
So I wonder, do any of you wonder, what does T.D. Jakes have to say about what happened today? I didn't see anything about it. But I heard, well, I hope you all heard too, that they came in Miami with boats as well as on the ground. And of course, a lot of people were saying in different news stories that he was supposed to be in Antigua. And a lot of people didn't know where Antigua was, neither did I. Antigua and Barbuda, they're islands like on the North American continent, but they're kind of not too far from St. Kitts and Nevis. So if you are familiar with the Caribbean, that's where they're located. And then one person I heard say that he was sent there, he went there and he cannot be extradited. Well, that's not true. An extradition treaty is in force between Antigua and Barbuda and the U.S. So he can be extradited under the Extradition Act, which defines offenses that are extraditable and prescribes the circumstances under which a request for persons in Antigua and Barbuda may be extradited. So, a question came up in my mind. Do you need a passport to go to Antigua? And it says, generally, all U.S. citizens are required to present a valid U.S. passport when traveling to Antigua and Barbuda, as well as proof of anticipated departure from the country. So, I don't know. The FBI agent seems to think perhaps he could be in custody. I don't know. What do you guys think? I hope you enjoyed this little news story, and hopefully we'll find out more tomorrow, or I should say later on today. Thank you for joining the Tiger's Den. I'm going to leave with one of my songs, as I normally would, and it has to do with what I think make people go rogue and crazy, and that's money. And I think that's what everything that's wicked and weird is for, the love of money. And I think that's what we have here. I could be wrong, but I doubt it. So as I close, thank you for joining me. Please hit the like button, share the video, subscribe if you haven't subscribed, and consider becoming a member. I'm leaving the Tiger's Den. Money, 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 money. Money, 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 money. Some people will sell you out. Do you know what I'm talking about? Some people tell jokes of dirt. They don't care whose feelings they hurt. I was told from times of old, the game's to be sold and not told. If you don't know what I'm talking about, hang around YouTube and you will find out about that mean, oh mean, mean green, almighty dollar, cash money. Well, people don't let money, don't let money change you. Almighty dollar, cash money. People don't let money, don't let money change you. Almighty dollar, they just keep on scamming and scamming everybody. Check them out, scamming and scamming everybody. I tell y'all, people don't let money, don't let money change you. Money, 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 money.